This is a monster portrait. In this video, you'll learn what that means, as well as how I created a portrait better than I thought I was ever capable of. So this is the start of the monster portrait. It begins with just 8 brush strokes, no drawing at all. You start with 3 paint colors, yellow, red, and brown or black, all cool colors, and a very big brush. And the goal is to use those 3 colors and just 8 strokes to block out the lights, midtones, and darks that you see in your portrait. At the end of this step, it's supposed to look like a monster. That's how you know you're on track. Let me know in the comments if you agree. He looks like a monster at this stage. Once I got those 8 strokes down, I used a subtraction tool to begin refining my shapes a little. This is one of the lovely benefits of oil paint. It stays wet so you can tone the canvas with color and then pull that color off where it's too much. Hey, so I want to pause here and talk about these paintings because it's super interesting what I'm experiencing. This is the Milan Art first portrait lesson, first layer. So you just saw me do it. It took about an hour. I've got some proportions wrong. I was able to take both my picture of my painting, the reference, layer them in Photoshop so I could kind of see between. I drew the outline of the major points of the reference so I could see it a little easier. And then I made the reference image itself disappear. So now I can see from my original painting where things are off in the... See that the hair is just way too much. The core part of the hair needs to come in a little, and correspondingly the hairline. So I have the hairline right here, but the actual hairline is way down here. So I need to fix that proportion. I also need to slide the chin back a little bit. It's a little bit in the wrong place. It's a little too far down. Here is where his lips are crossed together, and I have them drop down here. In this case, the nostril is up here and I have it drop down. So I need to give this face a lift and sort of scrunch it together more. Actually, it's very elongated. The other thing that I've done is I've wrapped his eye around the side. I've made him prey instead of a predator like humans are. This is a side portrait, an absolute profile. So there should be a sharp profile here. There's too much of this glass showing. This eye is too far to the side because I've got the top part of his face turning a little, and then this part of it not. I need to move the eye from the side of his head over a bit towards the front of his head, like where it is here. Here's the eye, right where the glasses are, and hardly any of that glass showing. So I need to make that adjustment as well. But overall, I am really happy with where I got on this and the experience I was having while I was painting this painting. And especially when you compare it to this one over here. This is an acrylic commission that I took. I had no business to taking because I don't do portraits and I shouldn't be getting paid for this portrait, or at least that's how I'm feeling about it right now. But I have been painting it for hours and hours and hours and hours, and we have some of that footage here for you, and you can just see how she has changed shape a million times. I'm finally getting pretty comfortable with it. I need to make some corrections on the hands because her hands look a little weird, and I need to paint in her hair, which is still there. It's not at all painted, and then I need to kind of work the image into the background, and I think I'm going to be happy. Add a few more brighter highlights. I'm going to be happy with it. But the experience of painting this one and not agonizing over proportions, not really stressing out, that it all pretty much came together really well within an hour. It was just so much more enjoyable. So I want to say, when I think about the value of, has the Milan Art Institute program been worth it? The jury's still out on whether it's worth the money, and that's kind of a subjective thing. But I can tell you that my experience of starting oil and finally giving me an excuse to pick up oil paint and learn how to use it, that's been kind of invaluable. I'm happy I made this investment. I'll keep you posted as I experience new things with it. This is where I am now, and now I'm gonna put the second layer on this painting. I am starting to refine the sketch even more based on my comparison with the reference image and adding in some darks. I don't have a lot to say about these videos because it's been some time since I was with you. I took a break from the Milan program due to some issues with my job. I've had a super stressful last 9 months or so, and something needed to give. I pretty much stopped painting entirely, although I've been keeping up with sketching with my friends and my Mori months. I also just completed Inktober, and I'm very excited to share that final video with you soon. Things are beginning to stabilize a bit for me, so I picked back up the Milan program today, and I want to start by catching you up with what I did before I stopped working in the program. I took 2 sections of the Milan program that I filmed but never did the videos for, and it's 6 months later as I'm recording this. So I've done nothing at all with the program for a full 6 months, and that's okay. Life happens. However, I did pay for 2 years of coaching that I haven't used for the last 6 months, so it's time to get back to things. First, I want to get these 2 videos organized and off to my editor. Then next week, step back into the painting program in full force. Here I am, wrapping up the final details of this painting. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, even though I struggled with the process. In addition to this painting, we started with a drawing lesson about plane shifts, how things like boxes and even faces change in value as the planes of them meet. I don't seem to have video footage for these drawings anywhere, but here is my charcoal portrait of Marilyn Monroe. For this charcoal drawing, I started with a base of charcoal, then subtracted out the lights and added in the darks until the image emerged. The next video I'll share has a lot of footage about this process, and I'm excited to share it with you. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell if you want to see that process when I release it soon. Overall, this was a great week. This portrait took me about 3 hours of actual painting time with a lot of thinking time in between. Let me know what you think of this monster portrait in the comments below, and I'll see you soon with a video about still lives.